In this video, I will show you exactly how to create and build your own first AI email assistant that works for you around the clock, even while you sleep. So it doesn't matter if you're a business owner, you're a freelancer, or you're even a full-time professional juggling multiple side gigs. This simple automation is going to save you hours of work every single week. And do you know what the best part is? You don't need to write any single line of code. So let's look at practically how this works. So let's go send off an email, and this email is just saying what is the warranty on the Smart Brew 360 coffee maker. If I send this off and I come into my workflow and I say test this workflow, right? The first thing it's going to do is that it's going to go extract that email. It's going to analyze the email and determine which category am I going to classify this email as. We have 3 categories defined here. It could be defined as a question, it could be defined as a complaint, and it can also be defined as a sales lead, right? So if it is a question, we want it to label the email as a question. Then after labeling the email, we want it to create a response for that customer. So it creates a response for the customer. Then this final one is send out that response you have created to the customer. So if I go back to the email box, you can see first of all, you can see it has been labeled a question. You can see the response is able to say, thank you for reaching out with your inquiry about Smart Brew 360 coffee maker. I'm happy to let you know that it comes with a 1-year warranty, providing you with a peace of mind. And you can see finally, it also signs it out with James support team. So in this video, I'm going to basically walk you through how you can implement this very simple automation for yourself, for your business, and it's going to save you hours of work every week. So the first thing I'm going to advise you to do if you want to build any automation as this one, no matter how simple it is, the first thing you want to do is come up with a high-level overview of the architecture, what you want it to do. So basically what you want something that checks emails, right? After checking the emails, it analyzes the email. It determines the classification. So depending on what you do, right? Depending on how you do what you do, you come up with different classifications you want it to respond to or you want it to engage with for you. Then the action is going to take. In our case, we are labeling it and we are sending responses. And the tools we are using here, we are using N8N, right? Is a simple automation tool. We are using Gmail. Gmail is our box which we are using to communicate with clients in this particular case. And we are using OpenAI as the brain that does the analysis and does the classification and does all that. So if you come to this simple workflow, you say the very first thing is the Gmail trigger. Now, once you open the Gmail trigger, and to get a Gmail trigger, all you just need to do here is to click on this node, open the nodes panel. You can see it has different options: advanced AI, action in an app, data transformation, flow, core, human in the loop. You can also add another trigger, right? You also have this. So if I click on Gmail, for example, and I open Gmail, you can see different actions that it has. But in this particular case, all I wanted was this trigger. This trigger is what initiates this workflow. It triggers the workflow to run. And most importantly, it checks for message. So you can see here, I've added my credentials. You need to add your credentials. It's checking every minute, right? So it's optional. You can make it every minute, every hour, like different time you want, depending on how frequently your emails are coming in. And you can see this is the email it fetched. It was able to say, this is the warranty. This is the email. It came from this. It came to this. It's able to say this is the body of the message that was received. Now that's the Gmail node. Now there's another node here, set relevant field. So if I open this field, if I open this one, you can see this was the message it received and this was the output. The reason why I put this is I don't want to send all these things to OpenAI to analyze. I wanted to extract specific messages. So that's what this node, the sets, just type sets. If you type sets here, the edit fields, right, is used to modify, add or remove item fields. So that is what this is basically doing. Here, I'm telling it the only item I want is the ID. So I've defined the ID. Here is the message. I've defined the message. Here is the subject. I've defined it here. And who it is from, I've defined it here. So those are the only things it extracted from this place. Now, it then sends that to, this is the OpenAI node. So if you come back to this node and you click on OpenAI, it just comes up, just simple drag and drop. You drag and drop it. It tells you which option do you want. In this particular case, we are saying message a model. So if I click on this, it's going to open up something like that for me. But we are not redoing that now. Let's just delete this. Just wanted to show you how to get that out. So this is the analyze email message. So if you open up the email message, this is where we defined it. We added our OpenAI account, add your API key. We want it to message a model. So whatever you got from the field, which is the message, the subject, the from, send it to this guy. And I want you to analyze this, right? So what I'm telling it is, so let's open our prompt. So I've told you you're an AI assistant. Analyze the email. I gave it the email subject and the email message. And I said, determine which of the following categories apply, right? Is it a question? I told it how it's going to determine a question, how it's going to determine a complaint, how it's going to determine a sales lead. So a sales lead showing interest in buying a product or service or starting a business relationship. Now, if it doesn't fit into any of these three, I want to classify it as other. Right, so I'm also telling you to output the relevant category without any explanation, summary, or test. So I just wanted to say this is what it is. So you can see here it outputted it as a question. Then here I use the set field again. I just used it to rename the field, right? Because in the initial place it outputted it showed the output was content question. I wanted it to be category question. So that's exactly what I got here. So you can see here I've even further reduced what I'm sending out. So here I've determined that is a question. Then here I've said if it is a question, take this loop. If it is a complaint, take this loop. If it's a sales lead, take this loop. So since the one we used first was a question, it has determined that this is a question, right? It has said, I'm looking at the category. I'm checking, does it contain question? Because it can contain more than one, right? It can be both a question and a complaint. So I'm saying, if it is a question, I want you to take this part. So the first thing it's going to do is going to label it as a question. That's the first thing it's going to do. It's going to give it a label question. Then it's going to send it to OpenAI again. This time around, what this is doing is basically saying, create a response. So if I open this up, I'm saying you're a helpful and professional customer support agent. A customer has sent the following message. This is a representation, a JSON representation of the customer message. And in another video, I'm going to show you how to build out these things. So I want you to analyze the question. And basically what I'm just saying is begin every response with hello, the customer name, right? So I'm telling it in answering your questions, note, these are the products we sell, right? These are the frequently asked questions. So I've told the email, these are my frequently asked questions. These are the products I sell. So any response is going to do, is going to create, is going to be based on this, right? Then you can see here, this is where it generated the response. So after generating the response, this one is just to send that response to the customer. This is just what this is doing, right? It's grabbing that message ID, which is the message to know which message is responding to, and it's just going to dump the message that was generated by AI, and it's just going to send that to the customer. So if you go back to the email, you can see that it was labeled a question, and there was a response to that customer. It was signed with Jake's support team. Now let's check the next one. What if it's a complaint? Let's take one. So let's say this customer is trying to make a complaint. Let's buy this. Let's copy this. After buying our product, the customer was dissatisfied, and the customer is making not happy at all. Customer is not happy with your product. So send it out, right? And let's go back to the workflow and see what happens. Have we received the email? Yes, we have the email, not happy about this stuff. So let's see how this workflow is going to do this. So it tests, it executes. receives the email, analyzes it, determines that this is a complaint, labels it as a complaint. Now it is analyzing that, generating a response, right? That's what this guy is doing, is analyzing and generating a response. Now I also did something here, right? It's called the human in the loop. Right. If you click on this node here, you're going to see the human in the loop node. And if you click on it, you're going to see different options. So instead of, especially for things like complaints, maybe you want to have an oversight in terms of what the AI is doing. So you're going to put a human in the loop, right? So it's going to send you that message. You can send it to you in WhatsApp. You can send it to you in Telegram. Here we are using Gmail. So it's going to send the AI's response to me. Then if I approve of the response, it is then going to send it to the customer. So imagine you're in transit, you don't have access to, or maybe you're someone that uses Telegram more, right? So you get that you get that message in your Telegram, you review it, you're happy with it, you approve the message, then AI then sends off that message to the client. So in this particular case, if we go back to the email, you can see the approval here. Here it told me, oh, this is the message from the customer. This is the subject, this is the message, and this is the response that I've provided. Now it asks me either to decline this response or to approve it. Now there are also other options. You can also then type in your own response you want the AI to send. So, but in this particular case, we'll just approve. Once we approve this response, just give it a minute or so. You're going to see it's going to respond to that client. You can see it has sent that response over to the client. Very easy. Now, the last loop is if it's a sales lead. And if you go back to this email, you can see the classification, the labels. The complaint is there. The question is there. It's just there, and you can easily come in the morning and you go click on the complaint. You see all the stuff that came in as complaint. You can see all the stuff that came in as question or stuff like that. AI has handled this, and it has just done the level one, what you would call the level one triage, right, in handling your emails. So let's see, what if this was a sales and the person is interested in a product. So we are going to fire out an email again to say, I'm interested in your product. Interest in products. Right. Send this off. Let's send that off. Interest in product. So let's test the workflow and see what happens, right? So if I test this workflow, it's going to analyze it. Oh, it has said, oh, this is a sales lead. I label it sales. So it just stops at labeling it sales, right? So sales, interest in product. Of course, you can add other workflows. You can tell it, oh, respond to the customer this, say this, do this, wait for, send me the preview so that I can approve or disapprove of what you want to send. So, but this particular case, we just stopped at labeling it as sales lead. Now, I also threw in another one here where I want to ask a question about something I don't sell, right? Remember, when we were in this place, we've determined if this is a question, right? We've told OpenAI the products you sell. So here I want to try and say, so the products I sell, Smart Brew 360 coffee and small tea chops. So let me send out another email that says clicks coffee. So I'll send that out, right? Then come back to the workflow and let's test out the workflow. Have we received the email? Yes, we've received the email. So we'll test the workflow. So it goes, checks the email, receives it, analyzes it, determines that this was a question. You can see it's going through this loop. It labels it as a question. It has generated a response to that question, and it has sent out a response. You can see the check sign, the green check sign. That shows you that that activity has been completed. So if we go back to our email, you can see the mail. What is the warranty on this coffee? Let's give it a second. Okay, so it has labeled it question, and it has sent a response. Said, hello Kebuchi. Remember we defined, take the name of the customer. Thank you for reaching out. It seems like there might be a little mix-up as we don't carry a product called the Clicks Coffee Maker. However, If you're inquiring about our Smart Brew 360 coffee maker, it comes with a 1-year warranty. If you need further assistance or have more questions, feel free to ask and I'll be happy to help. So it has basically determined we don't sell this, and it also added a soft sell to the product you actually sell. So this is incredible. Well built out. It is a very simple automation. Anybody can really do this. You can get free trial with N8 and just test it out. Look at how automation can help you make your life better, save you time, and help you build relationships with clients. Because if a client is complaining about something, or if a client is interested in your product and they have the time to send off an email to say, I'm interested in this, or I'm not happy with this, and you're able to provide that client with immediate response, right? A response in less than 60 seconds, you're already responding to that client. That helps improve the relationship. That helps you retain customers, or that even helps you build new relationships, because customers now trust that your service, when they reach out to you, they can get immediate assistance for your product or for your service or for whatever you do. And if you, especially for professionals that have full-time jobs and you need to juggle your side gig, you have different customers, you need some automation to be able to help you take off that manual work, automate that manual work, and help you immediately focus on what your real business is, which is, making the client happy with your service and with your service or your product. So this is a simple automation. You can build it out. If you have any questions, or if you encounter any issues, feel free to send me a message. I will be happy to help. So thank you very much, and watch out for the next video.